and welcome back to the Basketball Fix podcast. Now, we're continuing on with our one-on-ones with NBL players, ex-NBL players, everything like that as well. And I've got a bit of a special treat for everyone today as well. Former Tasmanian Jack Jumper, Craig Sword. Craig, welcome to the show, mate. I know it's been a pretty busy day, and I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, I've been very busy. A
Nah, definitely.
lot
What's sort
going
of been
on.
going? Nah, definitely. A lot's been going on. Obviously, the Christmas break, and then obviously everything else is going on. You've made the move over to Taiwan as well. I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
touching on that briefly, but how's the move been so far?
Uh, it was long, like the travel and stuff was long, but other than that, everything's cool. Just the price you gotta pay when you're an athlete, man. You gotta go different places, you gotta travel. So I'm just dealing with the travel part of it right now.
Definitely. As I've done a bit of research on yourself before this interview, you've definitely done a lot of traveling with your professional basketball career, which I'm looking forward to getting stuck into. But let's sort of take it right back to the start, mate. Now, you're born in Alabama, I do believe. And what was
Yeah.
Alabama like growing up? What did you get sort of involved in? What like sports did you play? Everything. What was Alabama like growing up as a kid?
Um, I mean, it was a lot of outdoor stuff going on. I played a lot of football. Football was like my first sport I played. I played all the way up to like ninth grade, and after that, basketball just kind of took over for me. And really, probably I just got tired of playing football and tired of going outside, playing outside. So once I found an indoor sport, when the weather, I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with the weather, and it's one temperature in the gym. So that's the only thing I got tired of being outside. That's probably the reason why I stopped playing football.
No, definitely. I love that. I think
Yeah,
it's a bit of a different sport, and there are massive contrasts, in physicality as well, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's
yeah.
definitely interesting. Now, you played high school basketball, so you let the viewers obviously know where you played and how you sort of went through those 4 years there before we get onto your college career, which was pretty successful as well.
Yeah. I went to Carver High School. My ninth grade year, I actually played JV as a ninth grader, and that kind of lit a fire to me. I had a cousin that played. Both of us in ninth grade. He played varsity. Actually, he played point guard varsity, and I'm kind of still small. I've just come from junior high school, so it kind of lit a fire to me a little bit. I said, man, all right. So after the season, they moved me up to the varsity, and I think just the rest was history after that, man. I just got motivated just sitting on the JV and was kind of pissed off that I wasn't playing varsity. So, and I just made it my duty to just go in there and just dominate the rest of them years in high school. They ended up getting Mr. Alabama, which I feel like I should have got every year, but every guy should feel that way.
Definitely. I think it's a massive achievement obviously there as well. And what did you sort of, I guess, work on as a young kid? Because like your game style now is so well all rounded. Like you're really good
hmm
defensively, and I think people underrated your offensive ability as well. You know, you're not a 25 points per game scorer, but you can definitely
Yeah,
drop that if you want to. But what
yeah.
did you sort of focus on in high school that really made you into this all around complete basketball player?
Well, I ain't gonna lie, I watched a lot of LeBron. He's my favorite player, but I think me just watching him and Dwayne Wade and stuff growing up, and it kind of made me want to be an all around player. And I always felt like I was an all around player. I love to pass. I love to play defense. But the thing about defense, I don't love to play defense. I'm just good at it. and and I guess when I was in high school, I just seen a lot of guys that was ranked in front of me and stuff. And I said, when I get my opportunity to play against them, I would not let them score on me. So that was kind of was my attitude going into getting ranked and stuff in high school. I just never wanted nobody to kill me one on one. So I just took that. I took that as I don't know. I just took it as a challenge that I could never let that happen. So all that went into going to my 10th grade year. I got bigger. I got stronger. Um, Eric Bledsoe came to my high school and played against my high school when I was in the ninth grade. I watched him play and I watched how big he was. So I was like, man, I gotta get some weight on me. So from that day on, man, I stayed in the weight room. I got bigger, I got stronger. I started to dunk. I stretched out a little bit more, and I ended up being 6'3". So that ended up being like my high school motivation, watching Eric Bledsoe come to my high school and just he didn't even have a good game. Like my high school actually probably won the game. He had a bad game, but I could tell that what type of player he was. And I can go. The list can go on and on from there. We had a guy named Marquise Glaze that was pretty good in Alabama. Darnell Taylor actually played in the league. Marco Killingworth, um, Courtney Forston, Jamar Sanders. And it's a list of guys I can name, man. It's a lot of people in Montgomery that I actually looked up to that kind of motivated me. So when it was my time to shine, I took over and ended up being one of the best players to come out of Alabama.
Definitely, it's awesome. Massive shout out, obviously, to Eric Bledsoe as well. He's a true little legend of the game as well, and did some amazing things on the NBL stage, on the NBA stage, I should say. But you
Hmm.
spent your next 4 years after high school in at Mississippi State, where you played your college ball. And looking at the statistics, man, it was a pretty good time for yourself. I know, obviously, in your junior year, I believe it was, you had a bit of an injury there, but those four
Yeah,
years, what was that sort of time like? Because obviously, the goal's to make the NBA, and we'll touch on
yeah.
that a little bit later. You obviously fulfilled that dream to a certain degree, but what was the four
Yeah.
years like in college, mate? What were you more focusing on?
Um, to be honest, man, I was just having fun with the moment of being in college. I was thinking NBA in high school. That's everybody's dream. But I was thinking that, but once I got to college, I wasn't starting when I first got to college, but I always knew it was gonna get to the point. Like I said, I ain't never like to get killed 1-on-1. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and make these singers work. After the first game, I didn't start the first game. After that, I started my rest of my career. Unless I was hurt. I had two back surgeries as well. So that kind of stopped me. But other than that, just my mentality, man, just to be a dog, junkyard dog everywhere I go. Them 4 years, I just felt like I was in high school when I was in college. I didn't care who was in front of me. I don't care. I mean, every team in the SEC was kind of ranked at the time too. That was made it even harder for Kentucky, Florida, Missouri. Everybody was ranked. So, like I said, that lit a fire under me. Even though we wasn't that, I wouldn't even say we wasn't that good. I say we was decent. We were points away from being a pretty good team. Um, yeah, I was one of the top scorers at school at the time. And again, I wasn't. I didn't want to be the lead scorer, but it just happened that way, and my team needed me to step up, so I ended up doing that. So that going to my pro career, whatever the team need from me, that's what I would do. So that was my role in college, to be the scorer. I played a little defense in college, just a little bit.
Just enough to get you
Yeah,
through all the games and all that sort of stuff. But with
just
obviously
enough.
the injuries, like back surgeries are pretty hectic injuries, and I don't know the extent. And if you can share a little bit of insight, that'd be great. But how do you
Yeah.
come back from that sort of injury and continue to have the competitive motivation, obviously, to get back to play at the high level and obviously to have the career you've had so far?
I mean, it's definitely a downfall to it. Yeah, you get talks from doctors saying you will never play again and this sort of stuff. And it got to the point I feel like I wasn't gonna play no more. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was, I think I got my first surgery my junior, not my junior, my sophomore year, my sophomore summer. That was my first surgery, and it came out of nowhere. I never had back problems or nothing until I got to college. So it came out of nowhere. I used to get up for practice, 6 a.m. practices, tell coach like, Coach, I can't do it today. At that time, coach don't believe nothing you saying. Like, like you're trying to get out of practice. I'm like, nah, coach, I can't move. Like my back is messed up. So it got to the point, probably like a month later, it got worse. I couldn't even stand. When I lay down, I couldn't get back up. It got to that point. Like, people was knocking on my door in the dorms. I used to fall on the floor, roll on the floor, and roll all the way to the door. It was that bad I couldn't walk.
Wow.
I got to the point that I was in a wheelchair for a small period of time. So it was bad. It was real bad, and that was the first surgery. I got through the first surgery. Did my 6 weeks. It was a 6 weeks turnaround. Um, I think I was pretty healthy um, going into my junior year, thinking I was pretty good. And first day of practice, back from it, hurt it again.
Yeah.
That's my junior year, early in my junior year, hurt it again. So I had to go back, get another surgery. Missed like the first half of my junior year. Yeah, and I ended up coming back around SEC time. Yeah, SEC play and dominated like the whole year with a bad back. I wasn't practicing or nothing. I was just playing the games. But
Crazy.
my back was tore up. So after that, getting another surgery after that season. But I had all SEC season, so I mean,
It's
I can't complain
crazy.
about that. But yeah, after that, going to my senior year, felt felt good. Back felt good. Got some preseason votes. Thought I was gonna be all SEC. And again, back issue hit me again. And this time I didn't go back for another surgery. I just, oh man, I'm just gonna have to figure this out. So pretty much my whole pro career coming from college, I was hurt. Oh, phone. I was hurt. I just had
That's
to pray to God, bro, that it just go away. And bro, it just went away one day.
that's unreal. Like it's weird, eh? Because it's like it's one of those injuries that just it would just linger, I'd imagine, and it would just does it flare
Yeah.
up every now and then whilst you're still playing,
Yeah.
or yeah,
Yeah, it still does flare up from time to time, but it don't get to that magnitude like it was.
yeah,
And more spasms than anything. So yeah, but yeah, man,
crazy, crazy.
it was a bad time for the obviously dark times around in college, man. After that,
Definitely. Yeah, and
yeah,
obviously when you're so young, and I guess you've got these dreams and ambitions, obviously to continue playing basketball, and potentially
yeah,
could be all snatched away from you. I couldn't imagine the sort of mental battles that takes to just wake up every morning, continue to go to practice, and all that sort of stuff as well. But you
yeah.
obviously you finished your time at college and you went undrafted. Was it the 2016 NBA draft? I think it was, or maybe a little bit after that. But you spent
Hmm.
a bit of time, obviously, in the NBA G League. You've obviously had a little bit of a taste of the NBA action. Spent a little bit of time elsewhere around the world as well. What's been
Yeah,
sort of, I guess, your favourite things in obviously you had the travel side of it. You've got obviously playing in different leagues and meeting new people. What's been the
yeah.
best part of your professional career so far?
Um, yeah. It's meeting new people, man. I met a lot of brothers along the way. I done gained a lot of new family members just by playing the last 9 years. So that's the biggest thing for me, man. Just trying to build relationships as I go. I definitely built some with the Jack Jumpers organization, the whole team, man. Everything was like a brotherhood. I mean, things ain't turned out how I wanted to, but everything there was as far as family oriented. It was fun, man. I love everybody there. Um, Hopefully, things, in the future, things turn back around. But it was a good group of guys, man.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm looking forward to sort of touching on the Jackie sort of stuff very shortly as well. But
Yeah,
you've obviously played plenty of years as a professional basketball player, and we've spoken about your skill sets and everything as well. But if you were sitting down and you're having an interview essentially with one of these teams or with one of these coaches, how would you describe yourself as a player?
I'm a glue guy, man. Whatever need to be done, I can get it done. You let me know the day you interview me what you need me to do, and that's what you're gonna get from me. And that's always what it been, man. Like I just like to play the right way. I just like to be a part of winning. And if you go back and look at my last 9 years, I didn't have many losing seasons on teams I was on. Um, so and I'm super proud of that. Like I feel like I can go to any team and be a glue guy. So and then yeah, if you want me to score, I'll score too. But I mean, certain teams don't ask for that. Some teams want you to do a certain thing. So and same with the Jackets. Jackson wanted me to do a certain thing. They didn't want me to do anything outside of that. So I stuck to that. So I got criticized for it, but you know, you know, people gonna have their opinion on how they think things to go. So it really doesn't matter to me though. I keep a low profile, so uh,
Definitely.
not as a late, but you know,
I think it's been interesting because we're getting to the Jackies talk now because I just want to get stuck into it because I've got so many questions around one, I guess, where it all started and how it started, and obviously how it all finished as well. So we'll go back to May of 2024 where you signed with the Jack Jumpers. Now, at that stage, the team looked relatively set. Obviously,
yeah.
Milton was still there, Jay Crawford was still there, and also Jack McVeigh was there. Now, you were probably brought in at that time to be more of a, I'll get your opinion on it, but what was your role essentially when Jack McVeigh was still there as, I guess, the first or second offensive option? What was your role to be brought into this team?
Um, to be honest, I didn't know of Jack McVeigh. Only three people I knew about was Milton and Jordan. And I seen them on the roster. I was like, yeah, I need to go play with them.
Yeah.
I've seen them over the years, and you know what I'm saying, I know of them, and we played against each other a few times in the G. So that sold me along. Like, yeah, I need to go play with them guys. I didn't know anything about Jack until I actually got to the Jackies.
So what was your role though? So when you signed, was it to come in as like a defensive anchor? Was it to come in as, like we talk about it all the time in the NBL, and obviously you sort of experienced a little bit of it. People
Yeah.
used to be these good defensive guards essentially were called cotton stoppers. You're trying to stop Bryce Cotton, for
Hmm.
example, or all
Right.
these other guards. Was that your particular role that you were brought into the Jack Jumpers for?
Yeah, that was basically was my role, just to guard the best players and stay within that role. You know, if I can get points along the way, hey, you get points along the way. So that was the agreement. Um, Nothing outside of that. I wasn't brought in to be 20 field goal shooting guy. I was brought in to do a specific role, and I did my role, and I was very successful in that role.
Definitely. Did the role
Yeah,
change at all? Obviously, Jack went over to the NBA after his incredible run at the
yeah.
Olympics and did his thing. Did your role specifically have any changes at all? Because you'd think there'd be obviously a few more shots for guys as well. And we all talk about import players. They are some of the most talented
Yeah.
players that the league has in it currently. So was there any adjustment in your role at all from the coaching staff?
See, um, the word import is. I feel like that don't pertain to me because I'm a glue guy. So me being a glue guy don't pertain pretty much. How I'm trying to say this. So all right, I never. This is my first time. Well, since I went to Poland and after that, but the last 8 9 years I've been to G. So it wasn't a such thing to import. So I always been like a glue roll guy. So when I get here, import means you gotta score and do everything. I didn't know that, so so I would get criticized for not scoring, and well, it really wasn't in my control because I wasn't getting the minutes that I wanted. Like I wanted to play 30 minutes, but things happened and we had an agreement. I'll come in to do this one thing. And coach stayed within whatever he we agreed upon. So that wasn't my fault. It wasn't his. So so I had to just pretty much deal with the hand I was dealt with and just sit there and just try to figure it out. Um, yeah, I started playing much better at the end, but I think it was pretty much made that he was looking to bring in somebody that can help them as far as offensively. But you know, things happen, man. It's the pro game. I respect it. It helped me at the end of the day because I was able to get out of there and go somewhere else and try to further my career instead of me getting my career damaged there, and I wasn't playing. So, respect to all the Jackies. I love the Jackies, man. It was a fun experience. Hopefully, I can get back there one day. So yeah, ain't no bad blood between us. Everything was good. Mutual respect for coach. I love coach. I love the coaching staff. Everybody around the organization was beautiful, man. They run that thing like it's running good. You see, they on a winning streak right now. I'm glad I was a part to start that as well. So hopefully they can go back and win that thing again.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one because I was talking to one of the guys, and one of the guys on our show, Jeremy, he's a massive Jack Jumpers supporter, and he was a
Hmm.
fan of yours. And I think the thing is, you copped all this criticism, and like you said, the word import, essentially, if
Yeah,
you're a basic fan, is like they've got to come and score 20 a game. And
yeah,
it's like, hang on. There's three of them, for example, that you get three import spots. Not all three of them have to put up 20 points a
right,
game. You can bring them in for roles and everything as well. But you
right,
were genuinely, if you look around the league, you were the most underutilized import player in the whole league.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you copped criticism for a guy who was playing 15 minutes a game because your
right,
statistics weren't adding up to a guy playing 35.
right,
So it's genuinely a tough one to sit here and sort of see the criticism, because when you were on the court, you were
yeah.
doing incredible things. And how was the start of the season? Because the adjustment from going from a guy who's the glue guy, the one of the good star players on a team, to then
Yeah.
coming off the bench, what was that adjustment like for probably the first time in your professional career?
Um, I mean, I pretty much came off the bench pretty much my whole career. And I always was good with that. Like I ain't complaining about it because I still got the minutes that I needed, and I was very productive. And every time I come off the bench, so it ain't really matter starting to me. Uh, but now I see when you come overseas and play, you pretty much gotta be the star. It's just plain and simple. But like I said, I didn't know. I never went overseas and played other than in the summertime. I go play in different places to play. So, but yeah, it was an eye opener at the beginning. I wasn't getting the minutes that I thought I was gonna get. So, I mean, that comes when you come take pay cuts to come places and play. So, I feel like I was getting whatever I was getting paid. That was the minutes I was getting.
Yeah.
That's how I felt and how it went. So the guys out there don't take pay cuts.
What are you sort of like? You've like you said, you've played in the G League for a number of years now. You've had a little bit of an experience around the world in other professional basketball leagues. Where does
Yeah.
the NBL, do you think, rank with, let's just put it next to the G League, for example? Is the NBL more competitive than the G League, do you think, or where does the NBL stand where you've played in?
Uh, that's kind of hard to answer because the G League is so talented. Every night it's probably like probably like 6 to 7 guys can get 20 points because you're playing 48 minutes and everybody, you got to think about guys coming from college. It's a lot of guys that score and do your job. So I can't, at first I was saying the NBL was better, but now that I think about it, and we played one of the G League teams, and that was a team they just threw together in a short period of time to come together and play, and it still was like they still were dangerous for everybody because there's so many of them. And I was ranked. All right, so I played Team USA. Uh, I say it'll be like the third best, not including the NBA. Like the NBA out, I played in the NBA
Yeah,
too. So I go G League, Team USA, NBL.
massive. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's definitely it's a massive, I guess, credit to the NBL essentially for what the league they've built,
yeah,
essentially in the last 7 years as well. When you look at what Larry's taken over and everything, but let's get into sort of the release of the Jack Jumpers now. I'm not sure how much you
yeah,
can comment on, and if you can't comment, that is completely fine. But it
yeah,
also sort of seemed to come very, very quickly, and there was just a notification on Instagram. Craig Sorter's been released from the Jack Jumpers, and then 24
yeah.
hours later, Ian Humner was signed to the Jackies as well. So, how did that whole process come together? Was it a mutual agreement from both parties? Did you go to the Jackies saying you wanted to be released? Did they want to release you? How did the whole situation come together?
Um, how could I put this? I mean, it was when you're in a situation, you can tell when something ain't right. So whatever happened, I was prepared for it. So that's all I can say about that. And I was
Yeah,
prepared for it. So and it's been months, and I can tell when something ain't right. It can start with how your minutes being played. You can tell situations. So they're pretty much it. I was prepared for it, and I mean, I was happy that it happened because I was able to leave and go somewhere else and explore my options somewhere else. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about that.
What was the initial thoughts around it though, sort of happening? Was it a bit of disappointment, I guess, because you come out here with the goal of obviously finishing the season, and they've just
Yeah,
come off a championship, and that's obviously another goal of yours as well. What was the
yeah.
first initial thoughts when everything was starting to happen, and you can sort of see it?
Um, yeah, everything happened pretty fast. I definitely want to stay and win the championship with them guys because we end up. I know we started the season off shaky, but we end up finding a way to get it done and end up being 8-8. And that was a big accomplishment for all of us. And I mean, stuff happened. I know it's the business, so ain't nothing I have to say bad about them. Like I said, it was pretty much ready to put in the last 2 or 3 months before that. So I already knew what was coming, so I just prepared myself for it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's
Yep.
it's genuinely a tough one for sure. And obviously, like you said, there's still no bad blood between you and the Jackies, and that's
Yeah.
obviously a good thing as well because I'd hate
Hmm.
to, see that we lose another talented player to the NBL altogether because obviously it would be incredible to see back in
Yeah.
the NBL one day, and especially when you're on the right team, I guess, with the right sort of role for you where you can
Yeah.
consistently show what you want to do. But let's
Yeah.
get into something, a little bit of controversy, I guess, in the recent days. You said you're a little bit of a quiet guy, and I guess we've seen a little bit of this in the NBL season. I think a lot of people are still getting used to this, and
Yeah.
I found it quite funny. And I think the other thing as well is I was also quite disappointed in the NBL as well. So obviously
Yeah.
Josh Adams was signed by the Brisbane Bullets, and you made a couple of comments on Instagram, and the one that I
Yeah.
guess caught everyone's eye was the I'm better comment. But the NBL pushed the narrative of the I'm better comment, but didn't want to go and push
Yeah.
the narrative of the other couple of comments you had on there. And you sort of said you love JA and you respect his
Yeah.
game, and obviously you're looking forward to watching him from afar. But what
Yeah.
was the whole situation like? Because it essentially grew legs, and then Rucker obviously had his on air comments after the Jack Jumpers game, which I think a lot
Yeah.
of people were disappointed in.
When I say I was better for that role for them. Um, I feel like if I got more opportunity and time, that would have been my opportunity for me to really show what I can do. And it ain't saying I was better than JA. JA is a great player. I don't have nothing against him. I was, because I was trying to get that spot once I see the guy go down. So I'm like, oh man, it's my opportunity to get back in. And a few more spots we tried and more options we explored, but it didn't happen. So I didn't expect that to happen. What they said, and once they sent that to me, I was like, oh man, really? For a guy that never, I hadn't said nothing since I've been there, and that happens. But it's social media. They're gonna try to push whatever narrative they want. But no, it's no bad blood between me and Jay. He don't know me. I don't know him. I know him from afar. I'm a fan. But other than that, I wasn't saying I was better than him. I was saying I'm better for that role for them because they need some more defense over there and some extra stuff over there because they weren't getting no stops and that we played them like 3 times already. So I feel like I was better for that role for them.
Has Rucker reached out to you at all to sort of try to clear the air, or has he just sort of left that as it is?
Nah, nah,
No.
nah.
Yeah. It's a tough one because it's just it's sort of a weird spot, and you sort of spoke about Brisbane there as well, and we've got a bit of a group chat here at the Basketball Fix. We've got about 12 guys
Yeah.
working with us, and we saw the Brisbane spot. Now there was rumored, I heard through a number of sort of people within the NBL and the Brisbane Bullets organisation that there were 5 guys that they were looking at to bring into that replacement spot for James Bateman.
Mhm.
So did you have any advanced talks with the Bullets, or was it just sort of you reaching out essentially to sort of gauge some interest?
Nah, nah. Throughout the season, I just was weighing my options, seeing which team I fit with because, I was in a situation I wasn't playing. So I just wanted to see which team I feel like I can gel with. Like I said, I can play with anybody. Um, and when that opportunity came about, I was like, oh man, I think I can help them just a little bit. They point guard playing pretty good. I forgot his name, number 8.
Keandre Cook.
Cook is playing pretty. Cook played it too, right?
Yeah,
And
he was
Pray
playing. Yeah, and then Prather was
and
at the
Prather
three.
going is crazy right now.
Yeah,
I think they just need an extra guy to come in there and take some pressure off Prather and Cook for guard. And James just was a bucket, so he ain't really had to play defense. He can get you 30 or 40 a night, but I just feel like I was a good fit for them, and I've been able to help them.
No, definitely. And I've got one
Yeah,
question here. Obviously, we've got a couple more questions, and we'll wrap up today's episode. But you've obviously played a very short amount of time in the NBL. And like I
yeah,
said there as well, obviously Rucker's comments with yourself. We saw Damon Lowry's comments with Montrezl Harrell. We saw both of you guys bite back at the NBL and obviously the people involved.
yeah.
What do you sort of see, I guess, the relationship between player and the media members in the NBL?
I think the media. I mean, the media gonna do what the media do. The NBL ain't the only place that the media just go crazy at. So I mean, us as players gotta be better with responding back to stuff that don't even matter. But Trez is a very vocal guy, so he gonna say what you want.
Trez is there. He's been doing some cryptic stuff even today. I saw him post a sort of like a address essentially. It was back to California, and he had a couple of
Yeah,
emojis walking back to Cali. So yeah, he's a very cryptical guy for sure, man.
yeah. And you notice, and it's been going crazy the last like few months of the pushing matches and guys getting suspended for pushing and stuff. That's crazy. I don't have no comment about that, but that's just insane to get suspended for pushing.
Yeah,
The NBA not even doing that. They not suspending a guy for pushing. But I mean, you got to set some rules, and I mean, I can respect them doing that. It can avoid a lot of bad confrontation. So it is what it is. But like I said, us as players have to be better, not try not to say anything back, and just be professional at all times. And I made my career out being professional, so that's why you guys never heard nothing from me all year.
that's
Never
the
said
thing, man. That's
anything.
yeah, that's what's been, I guess, the most surprising thing because we see disgruntled players in the NBL all the time. You don't get your
Yeah,
minutes, you don't get your role. People
yeah,
walk out because their goals are obviously the NBA, and they're like, well, what am I wasting my time for in the NBL playing 15 minutes per game? But that
right.
again that's where I give you the most respect, and
Yeah,
it's how you've handled the whole situation has been tremendous, and I think it's obviously been a really really good way of handling it. But obviously
yeah,
the future coming up now. You're obviously in Taiwan right now. Can you let us know
yeah.
obviously who you've signed for? Is it the start of the season? Is it midway through the season? What's the team shaping up like? Everything going on in Taiwan?
Uh, I think it's the midway through the season, and yeah, I'm with the Aquas. I can't even say the city name. I can't even tell you what the city name is
I was
yet.
hoping
Give
you
me
could
by,
say it because I had no chance.
but it is the Aquas.
Yeah,
Ended up being a great opportunity for me, man. I got, I just feel like I got an opportunity to really show what I can do. And also on the Asian market, I always wanted to come to the Asian market so I can have a chance to get into China and, different places. So um, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm still trying to get back in NBL next year for sure. So this is gonna be my opportunity to try to showcase a lot of the stuff I can do, so I can get that role that I want.
no, definitely. I think
Yeah,
I'm well and truly looking forward to seeing you back in the NBL, mate. And obviously, I'm looking forward to watching from afar as well in Taiwan. I'll be keeping a close eye as well, mate. I'm looking forward to obviously seeing how that all goes for you, mate. But that'll wrap up today's episode. I really appreciate your time. I know you've had an absolute long day with all media stuff and
man,
everything going on,
travel,
man. But yeah, travel as well.
man.
It's incredible. Like, and I really do appreciate obviously you coming on the show. We nearly sorted it out at the start of the year, but it just sort of fell through with the,
Yeah,
I guess, media availability before you sort of started your season with the Jack Jumpers. So, no, I really
yeah.
appreciate obviously staying in contact, and I'll be watching on for afar, mate, and
No,
yeah, watching Craig Sword ball out for
no
the rest of
problem,
the year.
man. No problem. Anytime we can talk basketball anytime, man. Just let me know, man. You got my information. So I love to sit and talk about good basketball, man. So even we talking about the Jackies, man, and the way they playing right now is crazy. Like I said, we building up a lot of momentum, and they playing like out of their mind. JC is shooting the ball crazy. Milton, I can't wait till they put together a game together. Both of them have 20. They're gonna beat somebody about 40.
Yeah, and they got
And
Will still out, man. Like Will's got to
oh
come back
yeah, man,
into
I'm
this
about to say,
team.
Max, get healthy, Max. My brother, get healthy, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing them win that thing again.
Yeah, they're looking
Yeah,
good, mate. I've got a few guys in the group chats who are mad Jack Jumpers supporters, and they're excited to obviously have you on the basketball fix and hear your side of the story and just obviously hear
yeah.
your opinions and everything. But yeah, it's going to be an incredible season. But I'll let you go anyways now, mate. I know it's obviously been a massive day, and I really really appreciate your time, and I'll be definitely keeping you in contact and
Appreciate it,
watching you very
man.
closely, mate. And I'm sure we'll catch up very soon in NBL 26 when you've signed for the Perth Wildcats, my hometown team.
Hey, make it. We can make it happen. Come on, Perth. What's up, Sydney? Anybody? But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get back in. I'm very confident. I know it's an opportunity gonna open up for me, and I'm gonna be ready for it.
No, definitely. I think it's
Yeah,
yeah. I think we've seen what you can do in a very shortened and condensed role, and yeah, it's
you
going to
know.
be interesting to see how it goes on from there, mate. But thank you very much,
Yeah.
mate, for jumping on the one-on-ones, and yeah, like I said, mate, I'll be looking forward to watching your career from afar.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate.